have another movie commentary. We're doing a few movie commentaries, actually. Well, not movie commentaries, and we'll see. But the end of the episode is it's 30 minutes to be talking about King Peele. Because we're covering Keen Peele. We're doing 15 minutes of The Master, and we're covering I think 30 minutes of Vice, the Adam McKay movie, which I talk about more as you'll hear. Uh I'm just doing I'm how do I put this? I've been finding it easier to like because I record them in 25-minute bursts. It's almost easier to, instead of record a commentary for a full movie, I'll talk about it for 25 minutes and I'll just kind of put it in an episode. So I've been trying that. And this is our first episode that will try that. Because before I've done, I'll do 20, I've had 25 minutes episodes, 25-minute episodes. But now it's like, what if we just put them all in one episode? So I don't know, I like a long episode, personally speaking. I like that. And that's what this is. So yeah, this call comes out to about 2 hours of commentary on just stuff I quite like, and that's really it. Well, without further ado, the Master starts us out, then we get into Vice, and then we end with King Peele. So enjoy. Alrighty, welcome back to another commentary. This is for the Master. I've already hit play, and I just jump in. We're gonna that was the Weinstein Company. That's always fun. Uh, Annapurna Pictures. I did in a podcast episode before. I've been looking really into the whole like who makes these fucking movies? You know, that makes any like what the fuck's a production company? So, but yeah, those are the two companies that made this. Well, Weinstein distributed, and Annapurna produced it. Gave them. I think they both gave money to Thomas Anderson now, who, if you don't know, is basically the most acclaimed American filmmaker, I think, alive. We're on a shot of Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, what's funny, he hasn't won a Best Director yet, but I think he's been nominated for every movie he's done. I think. Maybe not. Let's take a look into it. Later in the picture, as Scorsese would say. We're on we got that Paul Thomas Anderson's up, Johnny Greenwood score. And we meet, Joaquin Phoenix's character, whose name I'm blanking on right now. Just jumping right into it. No exposition. Just a dude drinking a mango or pineapple, whatever the fuck he's drinking. The movie's basically I wanted to do this movie because of because we just did Batman Begins. That was the first movie, and this is it's like the polar opposite. It's all character. It's no plot. No one's being saved. The world isn't being saved. It's just character stuff. And we meet Joaquin Phoenix with a bunch of sailors to, as I'm realizing now, they're animals. Basically, it's very primitive shit. And a lot of the movies about civilization, how to tame it, basically. Yeah, it's plot. It is a plot. It's yeah, a World War II veteran meets a cult leader, and it's their relationship. An animalistic World War II veteran meets this very put together cult leader, and we just go from there. The Johnny Greenwood score is great. Here he is jerking off, having a wank. From my understanding, everything about this movie, so it highlights the animalness of of Joaquin Phoenix's character. That's the thing with Paul. So Paul Thomas Anderson, he doesn't like you listen to him in interviews and talk. It's like he doesn't know where his shit comes from. He's very unpretentious about it. Like it feels like a mystery to him where his stuff comes from, which is interesting. So we're at the end of the war, basically. I've had that movie idea. That was a recent idea. There's another. There's two. Well, one was about MacArthur, who actually has been covered in movies before. But yeah, I thought it'd be kind of a cool player movie about the day Japan surrendered, like that whole how that process works between the two governments, basically. That was another idea too to do it with Germany too, analyzing that German surrender. So kind of a cool juxtaposition too with that speech and what's his face, Joaquin Phoenix, you know, doing whatever he was doing. Anyway, out of this, it's a quieter movie than Batman, so you men are blessed. He looks like this character looks like responsibilities of peacetime must now be considered. You can start a business. It looks like Paul Thomas Anderson. Hardware store. Get a few acres of land, raise some chickens. Back to school. Undoubtedly, there will be people on the outside who will not understand the condition you men have, or will think it a rather shameful. If the average civilian had been through the same stresses that you have been through, undoubtedly they too have developed the same nervous condition. Yeah, a lot of this is also about PTSD, interestingly. Yeah, animal. Just concerned about sex. See, what's funny as I've gotten more into religion, there's a heavy emphasis on controlling sexuality because I think it's the idea that it's the strongest temptation, and religion's all about temptation, whether it is Islam or Judaism or especially Christianity, which I know the most about. So, at least in terms of the ethics of the religion. So, I think he's gonna go get high. He just took some stuff. I love the stuff he does. He just a lot of acting. He's like doing something with his fucking eye. Like he just the way he contorts his face. I think this is a lot. He does a lot better performance here than Joker, but I'll try not to talk too much shit about blockbusters right now. So I guess kind of if you think about it, he's going from one cult. Well, I don't know if you can call him. Well, no, some people call it military a cult. He's going from one cult to another. And this scene is shot very closely to the Masters when we one of the first scenes you meet the Master. Yeah, Freddie Quayle. That's his fucking name. That's very. I haven't seen a lot of shots like that. The fade in. The I forget what it's called. I think so. They gave him a job. I think something like that. And he's a picture taker, a photographer. Get behind me scenes actually. Well, I guess that's intentional. Again, I don't know how much of this shit's intentional, or Paul Thomas Anderson just found it when he was thinking about the movie because he's super smart, but doesn't want to say it. But yeah, get behind me, Satan's from the gospel. He tells that to actually Saint Peter, who's like, "Yo, shouldn't we get all violent?" Or no, Peter tells Jesus, what if you avoided your fate on the cross? And Jesus was like, no, I gotta get behind you, Satan, because I don't need that. I gotta embrace my destiny. Which even Temptation of Christ, the Scorsese movie, gets into that whole battle between the human and the divine mission, and how he actually does want to live a human life, but he can't. So, which we also just saw in fucking Batman. So, anyway, but that's a big deal. Yeah, I mean, religions are a way to tame the devil in you. So, and I think a lot of people know, this is it's a very loose adaptation of the story of Scientology. So, which I think it's cool. I think it's cooler that we got a fictionalized version more than just a straight on L. Ron Hubbard movie. So it's funny. I don't know how Tom Cruise would feel about that. Thing a kind of drink. Oh, because he's known for his drinks, basically. Well, this is apparently taken from the stories of John Steinbeck, weirdly enough, who is probably a really close parallel to Anderson. Like the way he works is it's very novelistic, basically. It's funny again comparing this to Nolan and even like the other blockbusters. I mean, there's a reason why it's so sexless, but you know. Yeah, this is, very sexually charged. It's funny is the movie ends in a similar scene with him sleeping with a girl, so that's interesting. Uh, he's a drunk, and I guess he realizes it here. And just, that's a quick, yeah, it's a quick cut. Wow. I like how they don't cut to the other guy in this. Starts to fucking fight with this guy. That's funny. It kind of looks like I think Dobbs is his name. It's kind of funny. Such a messy fight. He's winning. This fat boy. Fat boy is winning. Yeah, he lost that fight. Oh wow, yeah, that's the girl again. That's the thing with Paul Thomas Anderson. You never see her again. That woman. It's just life. It's just cutting from thing to thing. And he's lost this character. See, it's fun too to see for such an artsy filmmaker how much he still holds to structure. Because Act One is this guy being lost, and Act Two begins when he's found, which I think is interesting. Because one would think like, oh, someone as artsy as that structures, ugh. Save the cat, ugh. But the premise is this guy working with a cult leader, and you get that at the same moment, fucking save the cat. Tells you. Yeah, the save the cat puts the premise as 15 minutes. It's like the first fourth of Act Two. Forget how he fucks this up. Oh, he gets him drunk. Bad. I think it gets run out after this. Just thrown out here. I think this is the part. It's like Steinbeck. I think the whole. I don't know. Something about it. The working in the fields things. Now he runs. Yeah, I have to imagine the animal and God and religious stuff is on this guy's mind, on Anderson's mind. I know he said the movie comes from pieces of yeah, it's something about him running, just running. That's even Dante's Inferno begins like that. Cain is the same way in the Bible in Genesis, just running, wandering, lost, steeped in sin. But this is a sexual sin because Cain was a murderer, and I don't get the impression at all Quail is a bad guy. See, I think this is where we meet Dobbs. Yeah, this movie comes from, it's a mix of some bits of Steinbeck's biography, I mean, Scientology, and bits of the early drafts of There'll Be Blood. But really, the movie Anderson said the movie started with the idea of he read that cults show. Yeah, this is the first shot of Dobbs. I'm such an idiot if I've been saying his name wrong. Dobbs. I think it's Dobbs. First shot of the master. But we was inspired by the finding out that cults really sprang up big time. And after World War II, there was a huge amount of increase in religious movements. I remember I was reading some about what's funny, the town I used to live in, Warwick, was home of the Jehovah's Witnesses. And I was reading about them, like, oh, that'd be kind of a movie Anderson might be interested in doing. Something like that. Thought that was interesting. I was also reading about foundation of Israel, the Jews moving to Israel in the early, like late 1900s, 1800s. And I thought, oh, that'd be a interesting movie as well. Kind of a slightly offbeat film, I guess. Because this would definitely not be your usual take on a World War II after World War II movie. Absolutely not. I think that's fair to say. It's actually a great movie that Coppola loves. Best Years of Our Lives. It's called by Weiler, who is like he's the most nominated director in the Academy ever in terms of best director. He got nominated 12 times, so that's interesting. And yeah, the thing with Anderson is like again, he's one of the few directors who consistently makes the kind of movies that Hollywood used to make. Especially the kind, the movies that Coppola and Scorsese and Bogdanovich, all those new Hollywood people, you know, got big for making. He's like the clearest successor to that movement. It's interesting because he came up in the 90s indie scene, which is itself the successor in some ways to the French New Wave in France, which is like, I mean, Kevin Smith and obviously Tarantino. And then there's Anderson. So, anyhow, here we go. We meet the great first shot. Very painting like. Love the red on him. He would have been. I've been reading a lot about how a lot of actors go into directing, and Seymour Hoffman would have been a great director. I think. I don't know why. Just some about an actor with a lot of presence. I feel like makes for a good director. I don't know. George Clooney's it. George. Well, I mean, that's in the mold of Orson Welles kind of. That sort of actor turned director. And if this movie itself has like a lot of connections to Citizen Kane, like There Will Be Blood does. So the Quail also kind of reminds me of Bickle and Taxi Driver. Um, yeah, this is a great scene. Yeah, that George Clooney directs in the mold of like Orson Welles. So does Ben Affleck, especially him. He's a big actor turned director. Yeah, we got the proper path. Yeah, guys, this is a for my money, it's one of the best movies of the last decade. So along with like Moonlight and forgetting what else. I didn't actually like this movie at first. I didn't hate it, but it definitely wasn't. Oh my god, I was bored by it, and I was younger. I was 20, so that's might be why. I was actually 19, so living in Warwick actually for the first year. That was the first year I was there, first summer. I love this line. I am a writer, doctor, clear physicist. And a lot of the movie pulls on the similarity between Quail and 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 Dobbs. Don't apologize. You're a scoundrel. As a scientist and a connoisseur, I know content. It's remarkable. Secrets. Yeah, like the way it's yeah, this is close to the theater and literature, like the way he writes these movies, the way he thinks about film. It's like Fitzgerald or Hemingway or the three big playwrights in America: Eugene O'Neill, Arthur Miller, and Tennessee Williams. The latter of those three, Williams being a big influence on Coppola. Yeah, I kind of Kazan worked with Williams, and I can see that in again Taxi Driver. I think even in the conversation, like I don't know, maybe I'm off with that. So I guess he has a book. Oh, it's called The Cause in the movie. That's the fictional name. This is where Johnny Greenwood's one of his greatest themes in the movie comes in. Start. Big day? Indeed, sir. How you feeling? I'm feeling pretty well. Thank you. How are you? Wonderful. Rami Malek. Before he was Rami Malek. Before that show, whatever it was, to call it. Um, Robot, Mr. Robot.
Previous to the cause was bull.
Yeah, I think that theme represents, I don't know what, it's some mix of peace and wandering.
Like life. Her excitement.
And the tension between the two.
Yeah. Now, how about this? Here it comes. A large dragon. Cheese.
It's funny, I'm seeing a lot of parallels with Jordan Peterson too. That's funny.
What do I got?
Well, I think it would be a great movie with whatever play.
Whip it up.
Which even Noah has said.
And I wrestle.
Interesting.
Wrestle him to the ground. I snap up, I say, sit, dragon. Dragon, sit. I say, stay. Dragon, stay. Now it's got a leash on. Take it for a walk. That's what where we're at with it now. It stays on command. Naturally, when the teacher roll over the place.
That's a good metaphor. Like that. Yeah, it's like this, like a half smile he does.
Where you from? From Massachusetts.
I think Jesse Plemons' character, again, before he was Jesse Plemons, Meth Damon, as he was called, doesn't like, I think doesn't like him. Tells him not to trust him.
What? I'm over? I don't think so. Sure you're gonna like it. I hope so. Nice to meet you. Looking forward to it.
I wonder where he gets his money jobs.
Norman? Thank you. Good night. Good night. One to answer my question. Yeah. And I might give you a signal. I'll rub my nose and scratch my What were you doing?
I should have said too, I had my best friend in high school I had a similar relationship with him. That to me is my reading of the movie, beyond the religion and talk. For me, it's about a friendship between these two guys. And a screwed up one at that. Of master and a servant. A friend who turns his other friend into a servant, or a guy who turns his friend into a servant. Which one of the 1,000 film ideas, so one of the most personal and the one I'm most excited about is the telling of that story in a different context, but I moved it to. You seem to inspire something. It went from high school to stand-up comedy in New York City in the mid-20s. Or sketch comedy, rather. Sketch comedy. So. People who are scared. People who are grieving. And there's an understanding that Amy Adams character, really runs the show. That's not my reading of it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's subjective, I don't know. I think the movie is a little more powerful if the master really is the master. I think there's a bit of power lost if he's just a servant to Amy Adams. So I get the irony. I get the why that works thematically. Even though I have a master, but I don't know. I'll do without that. Now they're doing the wacky thing. wacky mind reading thing. See, again, usually, as you mentioned before on the podcast, usually this thing is a show or a mini series. But I don't know. There's a power lost when this 2 hour story becomes 8 hours, 10 hours, fucking 30 hours. But again, novels do that too, but I don't know. And I'll say this too: you can't do a commentary on a novel or a show or miniseries, but a movie can do that. I guess a play too. It's funny. I don't think Paul Thomas Anderson. Oh, it's a fuck. She gives him an answer. Who you want to fuck? Animal. Dirty animal. I like to for all the wandering that Joaquin Phoenix did before. He's still on at sea. Interestingly enough. See, I got in this debate with Nella recently, but I'm a big fan of if your idea is great, everything will build around it. Kind of in I think, a pretty natural way. Like a lot of the subtext and thematic ideas, if the idea is great, those will come. Uh, you don't need to be a master craftsman to accomplish that. I don't, you know, that's my view anyway. I don't see Coppola or Anderson as master craftsmen. They're great, but that's not what's at play there in those movies. In these movies, rather.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! I feel like I went on there. Dark cloud rolls in. Anxious to shoot. Okay, so sure. What to do? Just answer my question.
He is one of the pivotal scenes in the movie so far. Again, it's one of those scenes. I mean, I mentioned it, Batman Begins, but that you kind of like write the movie in. You know.
Excited. Yeah. We made some friends. Very nice. How are you? That's it. You'll be my guinea pig. One more.
I wanted to say before, I don't know when his last Paul Thomas Anderson's last contemporary movie was. Well, Punch Drunk Love, Magnolia. But ever since, it's all period stuff.
Pretty cool.
He's also got really lucky. He's never had to do work for hire stuff. It's very interesting and very, very fucking rare. I mean, Chris Nolan hasn't either, really, except even Batman technically was for hire. But because the interesting thing about Coppola and Scorsese, well, Coppola is he fell from grace in the early '80s, and he had to do work for hire stuff. So, and I think today that looks like you're working in TV. There's a well, usually probably a director, but I guess even a writer too, technically. Oh, John Milius tried to get in the writing room for forget which show, and David Milch had to say, "Don't. You're not a TV writer. You're too controlling, or you're too much of an author." So.
No, you find interesting. Not really.
I love that line. Do you find interest in other people? I don't.
No, about what?
See, that's he thinks his line.
You mean like jealousy? Oh well, yeah. I don't. Scientific.
Yeah.
I can show the impression.
I actually went into a Scientology. It was a long story, but those that friend that just likes to do weird shit. I'm so weird. And he's a good person, but
Are you usually true?
he's one of those, and he and a friend I'm closer with. Oh, Sheik, who I've done a podcast with. Him and this guy Rod. We walked in Scientology, and in a long short tour, we took a test like this, but it was a written test. So, and they always come with you and say you're really depressed, which is weird. And so the way out is Scientology, which is weird. I was really ready to start lying because I just wanted to avoid giving any real answers because it's just uncomfortable. That was weird. Oh, that would be very uncomfortable. I love the officialness locked and approved.
No. You gotta ask me more. This is fun. Come on, you gotta ask me more. Next year's question.
I like that the not blinking, I guess, means you're telling the truth more, I guess. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm consensual. These are such great lines. He's like, are you serious? Yeah. He's like taming an animal. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, this is.
So, have you heard a man? I think maybe he's dead. I don't know.
He blink. He's blinking now. Yes, fucking. That's good.
You drink it smart.
Yeah, because it's the alcohol so fucking strong and killed that other guy. It poisoned him.
Okay. I was drunk and she looked good. Yes. I've had thoughts about masturbating. Yes. I thought you were fools. No, sir. I'm not going to impress you. Doris. Yes, sir. My girl got married one day. Yes. Yes, sir. I'm in here. I got no reason. I'm a fool. Yes. Yes, sir. I heard you. I don't know. I told her I'd come back and I never went.
See, it's so funny. Like, this is really personal stuff. I don't know how that. It feels really lived in a weird way. And I don't, man. Like, this feels as personal as La Dolce Vita or 8.5 from Fellini. Like, or Louis, the fucking, Woody Allen. Uh, Funny enough, even Curb Enthusiasm technically counts. It's lived experience stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Even like Fitzgerald technically lived Gatsby. He lived his first book. Steinbecker's a reporter, so he got exposed to a lot of stuff that became Grapes of Wrath. His childhood influence East of Eden. Herman Melville, Conrad, both were sailors, but not Anderson. So, but it feels like it. Yeah, it seems like Doris is the old master, the one thing that can tame Quail. Oh, I see you moved the camera down a bit. Anderson. I guess he doesn't really know Doris. I don't know what the deal is. Just the girl he's obsessed with. I guess he's a man. I don't know what the deal is. Anderson has talked about how this is from Dem, Jonathan Dem, Dean. Don't know how to say that, but Barry Jenkins uses the shot as well. It's like it's a very extreme close up, not like Leone, where it's like it's kind of it's shot from the top, if you will. It's like a little above the face a little bit because Leone's down. That's a down angle. It's really close. Like Breaking Bad uses it. Ryan Johnson actually uses it a bit in his movies, especially his first, well, Brick and Last Jedi. But yeah, that's an interesting shot. So you, especially these The big variant, the big shot is it's right, it's dead on. The character is looking right at the camera. So
I don't think you should go. No, you're not gonna go. The mall's way to see you, and I want you to stay here.
hmm. Yeah, I love this shit that you. But he see, all right, again. He seems like he gives a shit because he does. I think he does give a shit. And I don't think this is something he fosters with all of the members of the cult. I think this is really
One able-bodied seaman.
this is really real. I think that's the whole point of the movie is the master sees a lot of himself in Quail.
Band 12. Boiler. Done this before. Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.
So it's funny too, for a structuralist movie of some sort. This is its own like short story in a way. It's like a short story fitted into the longer story. So, and that structure I think keeps us invested in spite of it not, it's not Indiana fucking Jones or even Hitchcock, where it's a very meticulously plotted plot. So, Dodd, not Dobbs, Dodd, fucking idiot. Lancaster Dodd. Oh man, ding dong. Wow, 5 years have passed since the end of the war. Yeah, again, knowing someone like Dodd, yeah, this is what it feels like. It's an incredible relationship, I gotta say. And I opened up on it a bit with the podcast, A Side podcast. The last episode we ever did was the last 40 minutes of me opening up about it. Any see what's funny though, it's not I don't know, I gotta watch more Jonathan Demme stuff maybe. Because this doesn't feel as loose as Scorsese or Fellini, interestingly enough. It's hard to describe hard to describe what this feels like. I know we get the Kubrick comparison, but Kubrick and Anderson love Max O'Fools. Well, I gotta check out more. The pacing of his stuff, especially the later stuff, might be close to that. So
No! Master, hello. Hello.
mm.
Welcome. Welcome back to the thank you for your program. I have that. Watch your step. Watch your step, everyone.
So they're in, I guess they're in New York or whatever.
Very nice.
Yeah, and this guy is in Dear of the Blood as well.
Ready, grow.
All right, we're at logos for Vice. That's my George Bush. Again, an Annapurna film, just like The Master. Yeah, I mean, Adam McKay is interesting. Plan B, that's Brad Pitt's company. I look up to him because he made that. Well, we'll talk about that, but he made a switch from pure comedy to drama, kind of drama. We'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah. So yeah, we start off with Drunk Dick Cheney. See, my thing with all right, I'll kind of ramble as a movie, sort of, as we meet Dick Cheney, kind of young Dick Cheney, which I think this is true. Actually, this holds to what really happened. Adam McKay is telling these great. I actually really enjoyed. I didn't see Big Short. I love Don't Look Up. Vice. I don't know what I thought of it on first watch, but I remember enjoying it quite a bit. It's a great. It's on paper, it's one of the biggest movies of the decade for just subject matter. But in a sentence, it's such a farce still when it should have been a Godfather like drama. I think I can still see that the connections between the two of like that scale of drama, like no giant drama. But yeah, I don't. I wish it was. I wish it was pure drama. I don't need the comedy drama. Where we're cutting. I do like the cutting back and forth in time. We're now at. This would have been a better opening, I think. Actually, in fact, I kind of remember this. I think this was the opening. I don't know what that's about.
Phones go, sir. The civets. Let's contact the FAA.
But now we're at 9/11.
Make it the president of
Yeah, I don't know. This would be so cool if it was just pure drama. I don't need it to be funny. I don't need the satire. Like, I don't know if The Godfather would be better as a satire. I don't know if Lawrence Ray would be better as a satire. But I don't know. Amy Adams again. She has a lot of good roles. Wow. And she's Lois Lane. That's nice. Which is funny because I think Man of Steel was my first exposure.
Mr. President.
I know that actually on the phone.
Extremely fluid. So I would recommend you stay in the air.
And yeah, this is actually true, I think. Dick Cheney kind of, for a little bit, he kind of was the president.
Sir, Don Rumsfeld is at the Pentagon on line 3.
Kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
There's still passenger planes in the air.
Which is weird because he's so a bit of a black hole charisma. Dick Cheney.
You have authorization to shoot down any aircraft.
And yeah, this is true.
A threat.
Presidential authority.
That is correct. All orders are Unitier.
Unitier, sir, unless otherwise directed.
By all accounts of what people saw in that room on that terrible day,
I tried Googling if there's any influence. I mean, I imagine there is. Scorsese influence. This is all good. This is great Goodfellas and Casino.
that no one else did.
Even Oliver Stone does stuff like this, like this sort of narrator, still shots
As
zooming
the
in.
world becomes more and more
Uh,
confusing, we tend to
I couldn't
focus on
find
things
much.
that are
I couldn't find
right
the
there in
acknowledgement of
front of us,
Scorsese. You guys are gonna keep
while
looking.
ignoring the massive forces that actually change.
But yeah, I mean that's
shape
kind of the
our
funny thing when you
lives.
think about Coppola and Scorsese.
And
Is Coppola
people
is
work
much more
longer and longer hours,
theatrical and
but
operatic,
less and less.
which is funny because yeah,
And we
he,
do
he,
have
he had a
free
theater
time
background, and his
relax
dad was
them
an opera
with this
conductor.
complicated analysis of our government,
His dad or
lobbying,
granddad, I think, or uncle,
international
something like
trade
that.
agreements, and tax bills.
Yeah, they're part of the whole family, the Coppola family. And it's like, yeah, I would
So
love to
it's
see
no
the Dick
surprise
Cheney opera.
when a monotone, bureaucratic vice president came to power,
That
we
to me is
hardly
more
noticed
interesting than pseudo Scorseseism.
position of authority
Todd
that very
Phillips tried to
few
do the same thing with
history of America
War Dogs, I think it's
ever
called.
had.
I really wasn't a fan of that. But you know, I'm a fan. I spoke to this in the master commentary.
Course
I
of history,
don't mind
millions,
people who
millions
don't
of
know the
lives.
craft all that much. I like when they just go for it. That's
He
really
did it.
interesting to me.
Like a ghost.
That to
Most
me is
people having no
really
idea
powerful.
who he is or where he came from.
This movie, I think it was $40 million. This movie too, 50. Oh, I guess I
How
could look it up.
does a man go on to become who he is? Well, it starts in 1963.
I do love the score for it. Nicholas
Dick's
Breitel.
best girl, Len, was getting straight A's at Colorado College. Len had helped Dick get a scholarship at Yale.
Yeah, the budget's 60 million, made 76 million. Again, just like the Master, it was like $32 million, made 28.
Pretty soon, Dick got the boot.
That's depressing. That's what that's called. So when I Googled McKay and Scorsese, what came up was McKay defending superhero movies, which I get. I get it. He did write Ant-Man, or parts of it. He was brought in, I think, as a script doctor, though.
They would just call him
I don't know how much of that plot of Ant-Man, which I actually do like quite a bit. I don't know how much was his. But yeah, he loves those movies. He said he recommended Thor Ragnarok to Scorsese, so. But look, that Ant-Man, Thor, that does well now. Not this shit. That's why Scorsese's mad. It's out of some. Well, it kind of is out of this taste of the subject matter, but ultimately, it's like, yeah, they don't make money, as I've said a billion times. But it's kind of hard not to say it when this fucking movie made 68, 58 million or whatever it made. 76 million. And if you don't know, the profit a movie needs, take the budget, double it. So if a movie costs 60 million, you'd make 120 million for marketing. And really, you gotta make 240 because of what the distribution movie theaters take out, especially over foreign, and then you get the foreign market. So, yeah, man. And I've heard before, it's like what awards cloud? Ooh, just like the awards, maybe. I can't speak to that. I don't know. It feels a bit silly to say that. I have to imagine everyone hopes to make money, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how, I'm just glad this fucking movie exists.
2 times. 2 times! I have to drag you out of that jail like a filthy hobo.
Sorry.
What? What did you just say?
Sorry, Lily.
You're sorry?
So
Don't
it's
call me
funny
Lenny.
too. What was I gonna say?
You're sorry.
I guess just finish that point.
1 time. is
Yeah, I don't know
upset
how often movie companies
times
finance
makes
something
me
knowing it
think
won't make money.
that I picked the wrong
'Cause that's
man.
important. You don't need to.
You
Not
already got
everything
your
should be a
ass thrown out
moneymaker.
of Yale for drinking
Which I'll
and
get into later,
fighting.
but
And now you're just going to be a
this
lush
is
that
the most
hangs
important
power
scene
lines
of the
for the state?
movie.
Are you going to live in a
Which is
trailer?
interesting because it
We're gonna have 10 kids? Is that the
portrays.
plan? No, we're going to discuss this right now. You
It
smell like
portrays
vomit. Cheap booze. Does Dick want some
Dick Cheney kind of. It's kind of Lady Macbeth-ish.
Get out! Does Dick want some coffee? Jesus Christ.
It portrays everything
Okay,
Dick
here's
Cheney
my
did for his wife, which I think is very interesting. That the whole getting his shit together
You
was just to
stand
keep his
up
wife.
straight.
Which kind of
Look at your
goes
back
with the
straight.
more amoral, just
And you have the
power
courage to
hungry
become
dude this
someone
movie portrays him
or
as,
God.
which is
I know a dozen guys
ahistorical.
and a few
And there's a
professors
great
at school
New York
who
Times
date me.
article that points that out. Because I thought
Then
that
prove it.
it's kind of historical,
Prove it.
especially as I've gotten older. He's a bit of a cartoon in this movie, which I get why, but
Go to
anyway.
a big Ivy League school. And I can't run a company or be mayor. That's just the way the world is for a girl.
This is
I
interesting
need you.
too.
And right now, you are a big,
The
fat,
sexism of
piss
it.
soaked
Yeah, there's a bit of
CEO.
Lady Macbeth in this performance, I think. I think there's a scene in the middle that's Shakespearean.
I've seen my mom waiting up all night for my father to get home, and I've seen my father drunk in this house
I love the
and
little
raising
fly
his
in his
voice
face.
and way worse. And I am not dancing that dance anymore. I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, it's pretty impactful. That's good.
Can you change, or am I wasting my goddamn time?
See, if the whole movie was this tone, that'd be fucking amazing. And I know Succession has the same tone, and that's actually quite below. I think he produces it. McKay, he did the pilot episode, and Brightel scores it. He also scored Moonlight. I love the Brightel score. Love it. Yeah, this is a cool opening credit sequence. Yeah, the piano. Yeah, there's two versions. There's the piano version of the theme and the string. Kind of a quick sequence, though. It's interesting. I do like the old school touches too. That's cool. Yeah, very quick actually. Wow.
Diligent dedication. They simply your American best.
See, I think that's why Don't Look Up is stronger. It makes more sense for that to be a satire.
So let's go forward and learn and be of service.
Yeah, I think this should have been more
God bless
dramatic.
you all. God bless this great.
Especially because if you think of it, like
And now,
usually you want the main character or you want the film to resemble the main character in the film.
Representative,
But Dick Cheney's not a funny guy. There's like a little wit to him, but this doesn't. I don't know. It's too funny. It's too funny for the character. Bush makes more sense, but even I don't buy the doofus portrayal from either. I think that's also a little ahistorical.
Yeah.
So but that's its own conversation.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, again, there's a great article
It's what we
about
call
this
in the
movie
Navy
on
a
the New York
ship
Times. It's pretty short too. It breaks down
Donald Rumsfeld, or
what the
Rumble,
movie
as they
misses.
called him, was the former captain of the Princeton wrestling team.
He'd be a good name too, Rumsfeld.
Elite Navy jet pilot. Most congressmen.
He's a
use
good.
their
That's it.
power
He's
by
a good
finance.
dramatic. He's a great
Right.
dramatic actor, Terrell.
Rumsfeld, on the other hand, used his
Where?
the butterfly.
What's funny too,
Like
Stewart
the
has done
master
two.
who
Jon
got in his
Stewart
way.
has done two political dramas, like small ones,
This can be
and
a
they
great
never did
opportunity-
well apparently.
An opportunity to
But
work in the
he'd probably make a good
Always
version of Vice, but he
decision-making
probably still might make it too funny. And I don't need that. I don't
If
think the
that
movie
doesn't
needs
give you a
that.
hard on, I don't know what will. Sorry to the few ladies in the room. This program didn't used to have girls, now it does. Anyway, I'm Don. Whatever you do,
I think there's one shot at Trump in this movie too, funny enough.
he is the most boring son of a bitch in DC. Isn't that right, Bob? All right, that's it. Go get a congressman a cup of coffee. And if his wife calls, he's always in a meeting. All right, that's it. Scat.
See this giant long shot, this wide shot in a leaner Coppola movie,
So one of us is supposed to
even
start with
for
Democrat
a Weiler, that would be hell.
If I go with the Dem, 'cause I did a lot of work with the DNC on campus. So.
You'd stick to that shot a lot longer.
It's guy we just heard.
Three penises walking down the street.
Yeah, you know where the other two. Rumsfeld.
And the pacing would be a lot slower. You'd probably, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you wouldn't be cutting as much.
That's what I had.
Not as many 2 or 1 shots. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that today, that cutting style. Barry Jenkins actually does it in Underground Railroad, which I've been watching parts of. But even like something like The Sopranos, they're cutting, even The Departed from Scorsese, cut.
Speaking on the opportunity.
I don't know.
Assist me in my job as counselor to the president.
Fucking Anderson's pretty good at not doing that. Interesting enough.
Christ, you want me to pin your mitts to your sleeve so you don't fucking lose them?
So yeah, this cut, like this two shot,
There were 2 DUIs.
that would be the whole shot.
Don't worry, I vouched for you.
You wouldn't cut from that.
No, thanks for when your neighbor Dottie pulls your punch.
Again, as I've learned, I didn't know this shit in college because I just wanted to be a screenwriter. But as I've been trying to teach myself directing, I'm noticing this stuff more and more.
The first thing our department did was to conduct a sweeping audit at the population distribution across the nation. You will see the Office of Economic Opportunity benefits. You're wrong,
So yeah, I've done this before. I don't know.
Get that on Nix's desk. Roger.
It's
Ailes,
like
founder of
again,
Fox News.
it's
First
pseudo
pitched the idea as
Scorsese
conservative
exposition,
Nixon as a media consultant.
overdrive
Roger wants Nixon to start a
montage.
TV network.
Yeah, that Roger knows TV, but he doesn't know politics. So
Oh wow, it's Roger Ailes. I got another. He'd be a good character. He'd be a good character too. I had the idea to do a Bill O'Reilly movie, or even like a young one. Interesting enough.
Oh, where did you find her?
That's an old idea too.
To our private healthcare institution. But I still got second place. White families, male, women, Hispanics, minorities. Quiet. I like that. You don't go blabbing about what cards you have. I missed my flush draw about a month ago. And everybody still seems to think I have pocket kings. So I may be fucking Haldeman. I mostly play hearts, so I'm not. No.
For a man like Donald Rumsfeld, he only wanted 3 things from his lackey. He had to keep his mouth shut.
See shit like that. You don't need that.
And always be loyal.
What it means is
Yeah,
Nixon
it's
likes
funny,
people
but
surprised.
it's
No, I'm sure that's not true.
So, what's it going to be? Is it yes or no?
So yes.
You don't even know what the question is.
yeah. I like the operatic style of
It's okay.
yeah, Coppola. Even Tom Hopper and fucking the King's Speech, which I've also seen parts of. He'd be great for this. Even like parts of the Danish Girl, like that's good. That'll get the job done.
He would be a dedicated and humble servant.
Tom Harper, he did like War and Peace for the BBC, like that would work. They did a King Lear, that would work. I forget who directed that, but that would be serviceable.
Now, at this point, you're probably wondering who exactly I am.
This is funny though, how they type
Myself, my
Jesse
name's Kurt.
Clemens in.
My favorite football
Yeah, another
team
master
is the
carryover.
Steelers. Me and my son, we love SpongeBob.
I think that SpongeBob was
So
funny.
much about Dick Cheney. Well, let's just say we're kind of related.
If you know the I think he has his hand on his stomach or something. That's kind of funny. As you'll see in the plot coming up, that's relevant.
Well,
I like the cutting. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good cut.
I am so proud of you right now, Dick Cheney. I knew I picked the right man. I knew it even when I didn't.
We did it.
Have you seen Nixon?
I did. Shook his hand.
He told you.
There was another article came out recently connecting Nixon with Trump, which is interesting.
I gotta pinch myself. Pardon my French.
I'm
Best fucking thing.
I kind of break up American history since the post-war to before and after
I'm
Nixon.
so proud of you.
That to me is the big divide. Like
Your
it's,
girls are proud of you. Are you proud of your daddy?
you know,
Yes. You say you're proud of your
so
daddy.
from 45 to 75, and then now, even like 9/11, I still think is connected to before and after. Like there's a connection between H.W. Bush and Trump and Obama, I think. But I don't know how much in common JFK has with
So now that I'm
the
not just
post-Nixon
like
era, or LBJ or Eisenhower.
See
So
that door? To Kissinger's office. That's right. Happen to know that Nixon is in there right now. Now, why would Nixon not be meeting Kissinger in the Oval Office? He's having a conversation. He doesn't want to go on the record. Very good. What is the conversation? We're going to bomb Cambodia. That's impossible.
one of the great Kissinger-Nixon crimes. So that's more Kissinger, that
Unless you're in
crime.
it, and it's the greatest deliberative body on earth. But we're not, so fuck it.
Kissinger.
Campaign on injury.
I do like not seeing Nixon or Kissinger. That's kind of cool.
Because of the discussion that Nixon and Kissinger are having right now, behind that door, 5 feet away from us, in a couple of days, 10,000 miles away, a range of 750-pound bombs dropped from B-52s 20,000 feet will hit villages and towns all across Cambodia. Thousands will die. The world will change, for better or worse.
Sorry, this is really good.
That is the kind of power that exists in this squat little ugly building. Screw Kissinger, he's overrated.
All right, this scene's coming up that is annoying.
So, what do we, I mean, do I gotta spit it out? What are you trying to say? What do we believe? What do we believe?
Oh man. Yeah, this fucking thing.
What do we believe? Oh, that's very good. What do we believe?
It's fucking, I hate that. Basically, because I've actually done a lot of research in the Kitchener because I want to do that operatic, big old drama thing with his story. He's one of the many figures I want to tackle with that storytelling
Find out what the fish want.
process.
It's a worm. And we use it to catch it.
And see, this is cool. I like this the stuff with the family. But
It's not good or bad. It's fishy.
Kissinger and Cheney are basically they're the same mold. It's neoconservative Warlock thing. That's even the Clintons and even kind of Obama were like that.
Nixon's inner circle.
And it's basically
Donald Rumsfeld.
a world. The world needs America at the top. That's the only way you get a good world. That's the Dick Cheney belief. That's the Kissinger belief. That's the Nixon belief.
Or as he called it,
Fuck off.
Even all the Eisenhower, JFK, that was their idea. We're an extension. We're the.
Hold on, we are not moved.
I actually think it'd be a good line. We're the climax of history. We gotta act like it. We're the end of history. We ought to act like it.
Don't worry.
So this is a cool
Bedbugs.
scene.
You have to burn the mattress to get rid of me.
That's kind of
Becoming
cool.
sharper and sharper
It's the
as
night,
see
you know, the
inside.
night Nixon
And Lynn
loses.
started to write articles and
Well,
explore
he's
ideas.
removed
for
from
her first
power.
novel.
But yeah, that's
Dick.
Then she received news from back home in Casper.
yeah, that's Nixon. He's not Jesus. Well, I don't even know
Lynn's
what
mother,
character it is.
Who had avoided the water her whole life.
Some greedy
Drowned.
asshole. He's not that. It's not Cheney. It's not Bush.
He said her and Wayne, Lynn's dad,
It's a colonial
nasty
imperialist philosophy that comes, you know, it dates all the way to Augustus Caesar and the Romans. So
I don't know. She just never swims. And
yeah, that's where it comes. Oh yeah, I got the appeal of just a craven sociopath. That's Breaking Bad. My college senior project was that. That's
I can do it.
Tommy and Goodfellas. So I get it, but that's just not Cheney. And yeah, I think the real Cheney is more interesting. And it's more relevant. And it's easy to portray him as a Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine sociopath, but it's more complicated and interesting if he's, you know, he really believes in this shit. That's more interesting to me. This guy looks like Paul Thomas Anderson. Too.
So beautiful. Man, it's catching it. It's finished.
This is his dad, huh?
How you think? Things going good in DC? You'll never go near my daughters or my wife again.
This is really good. I'm glad they didn't end up on the cutting room floor. That's great.
Big shot. Big shot, DC Dick.
That's interesting. That's good. Cinnamon rolls. I'm a big cinnamon roll guy.
Yes.
Oh wow, so this is older Dick. I guess this is the Bush days.
So, we got page 8.
Osama Staffan-Nasir, a cleric based in Milan, Italy. He's a member of Al Jama'ah al-Islamiyah, the group that killed Anwar Sadat. It's the blind sheep. Huh? There's some debate at Langley whether they're a threat or not. They claim to be peaceful now.
They claim to be eating healthy.
Yeah. So many fucking cuts, but you know, I like the shots of the women. You know, the women, the kid, the family. That's good. And yeah, this is real in terms of Islamic extremism in the 80s and 90s, including the Sadat thing, which I would be a great story to tell, but his death, basically, that's a huge part of history, the history of the Middle East, which I'm also deeply important.
Well, Mr. Vice President, there's been some chatter about. I have.
Yeah, Muhammad Atta. That's a reference to Muhammad
leave
Atta.
office before my term is completed is abhorrent to every.
So he wasn't a big name at that point, Atta.
I must put the interests of America first.
But yeah, that's fucking. I love that. I love cutting from Atta, the Atta reference, and the Islamic terror reference to Nixon. That's beautiful.
No, the president has a lot of enemies.
And I like that too. She's defending.
Remember.
I like she's defending Nixon. See, I have a theory. I think
so much of the Republican Party is about never letting Watergate ever happen again, and that's why they let Trump kind of, you know, do whatever the fuck he wants. It's like we can't repeat,
That is our president. Isn't it?
you know, the defeat that Watergate was. So, you know, do whatever it is, do whatever you have to defend that from happening again.
I see. Any Republican not touched by Watergate is golden right now.
Ford called me before my plane took off. I think we're in. Oh, so driving this chick magnet, huh?
You can always
What's
take
fun
the
enough
bus.
about Ada, I actually,
I shall resign.
another huge project I was working on was basically a biography of
Vice
him.
President Ford
Kinda.
will be sworn in as president at that hour.
So what's
No,
the
he's
plan?
from Hamburg, not fucking Berlin.
Is to take over the damn place.
I'm gonna fire on your ass.
I've been foot guards for a long time, Don.
Now I'm Googling it, kinda. Berlin.
They gave me the keys to the damn house.
That's
Check
weird.
us out.
That has to be an Ada reference.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I wanted to track Ada's sort of conversion to the fucking
All right.
Islamic terror.
Kissinger trying to kiss and make up with the Soviets.
Well, let's make sure that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I believe I may have a way to put an oar in the water on Russia. What if we create an enemy? Where'd they go?
Oh, it's
Dick
Kissinger.
Cheney's
I guess that's four.
superpowers was the ability to make the most wild and extreme ideas sound measured and professional.
What if on a unilateral basis we all put miniature wigs on our penises and we walked out to the White House lawn and jerked each other off? So, like a puppet show, but much more enjoyable.
That's funny.
I do like a good puppet show.
That's funny, but
Henry Kissinger has been relieved as National Security Advisor and replaced by Brent Scowcroft.
They're calling it the Halloween Massacre. Mr. Press, hold on.
Donald Rumsfeld has replaced Secretary of Defense James Schlesinger.
And Dick Cheney has been
see, I get it. It's like the power play, and I did it in I got my college script.
Don.
It was funny.
The youngest Secretary of Defense ever.
Well, I'm not talking about Dawn. I'm talking about you. I'm going to give you a kiss right here in the White House.
Excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Cheney. These girls were trying to enter the Oval Office.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Girls.
Yeah, this is cool again. The human side of him,
Girls,
the
this is
family
not
man.
a
It's
playground.
good.
Please do not.
Is this your sample list?
So the end of the movie is him showing out his daughter, which is interesting.
This is where
You know, that's a good moment.
the leader of the greatest nation on earth lives.
Are you one of the elves, Daddy?
In a way, yes.
No, he is not married. Your father is chief of staff. Chief of staff. If you're silly with her, she'll grow up to be a silly woman.
Right, of course. God, that's just silly, Mary.
And as the new chief of staff, and with the presidency weakened by Watergate, Dick Cheney wanted to find out exactly how much power did the president have.
I would like to reinstate executive authority. Now,
Antonin Scalia, a young lawyer.
Yeah,
with the
this is a
Justice Department,
motherfucker.
who would later go on to serve on the Supreme Court, rocked Dick's world.
Interesting, you should ask. Are you familiar with the theory of the unitary executive?
And this is a big scene in the movie. Might be again the big scene, the big exposition scene explaining what the fuck is going on in the movie and how it all happens.
With absolute executive authority. And I mean absolute.
See, that's a weird tag. Oliver Stone would do shit like that, apparently, in his movies.
Want to take
His big political dramas. Nixon and
I've got
JFK. Yeah, again, it's funny. Funny, you know, sketch shit.
Executive theory. Certain legal scholars believe that if the president does anything, it must be legal because it's the president.
Yeah, the
To
Nixon
hell with
thing,
checks and
yeah.
balances, especially during times of war. This
Even the
was
Romans did it
power
with
of
the
kings,
dictators.
pharaohs, dictators.
This is perfect.
Dick Cheney was a foot soldier in the power games of Washington, D.C.
Even the
But
Dark Knight
with the
quotes that
unitary
the dictator
executive theory,
Roman
he
shit.
could become Galactus, devourer.
Yeah,
of
Adam
planets.
McKay is a huge comic book fan, so
But
it's
then
good.
it was election night. There was one big problem.
The winner with 272 electoral votes. We had wondered which one of us was going to make this announcement. James Earl Carter, the next president, as we know.
Just like that, it was all over.
Dick Cheney, the president's chief of staff, he does not have a job.
Can't be. It's got to be some sort of mistake in the calculation.
Yeah, mistake. Yeah, like the Trump crap.
Thank you all.
The Republicans have lost the presidency. They're the minority in Congress in most states.
See, again, there's a great movie here. Yeah, I do love how it connects Nixon and Trumpers.
The White House today to show off the new solar water heaters installed there.
Today, in directly harnessing the power of the sun, we're taking the energy that God gave us, the most
Yeah,
noble
Jimmy,
energy
I don't know
that
much
we will
about
ever
him.
see, and using it to replace our dwindling supplies of fossil fuels. There is no longer any question that solar energy is both feasible.
Imagine if we did that. That'd be great. Totally different country that would be. Not totally, but you know what I mean. We had dropped the fossil fuel shit earlier, which of course Dick did like. Dick and George.
All right, Key and Peele time, and I'll talk more as the movie starts. I'll talk about that. But here's Key and Peele. It's their most watched of 2021. Uh, so not their most popular sketches, but I'll hit playing right now. Why am I watching why am I watching Key and Peele comedy? I don't want to make this too loud. This is the Black Panther bit. It's been if you Google it, it's actually kind of talked about. It's talked about a lot that comedy movies are kind of downhill. Like the last great comedy movie, and I don't know, I can't. Well, I've seen like a lot of the parody movies of the 70s and 80s. Those are seen as like, the peak of the genre, the work of what's his face? Oh God, Noah loves him. The Nazi guy, the guy who made the Nazi thing. Springtime for Hitler, Mel Brooks. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of visual comedy in this bit. There's a lot of what's the word? Oh, fuck, what the fuck was it? They were surreal. Monty Python. They were big with film. Film's a hard medium to do comedy, I think. Yeah, that was just a silly opening bit. My best friend in high school, who it's kind of a tragedy we never actually ended up doing comedy sketches, but that's a complicated story. But he would say, like these guys are hitting this, and that might have been a bit of a miss. That Black Panther sketch, a lot of just visual commentary, visual humor. They do a lot. Key and Peele does a lot of movie parodies too, I should say, which is interesting because I'm doing Key and Peele because they're such a formative, like they really are a formative influence for me. SpongeBob was probably where I first started. No, that's where a lot of my sense of humor comes from. I wanted to be a stand-up for a while, So that's Bill Hicks and Bill Burr, Carlin, Doug Stanhope, and a few others that I would watch, but those are sort of the big four, I'd say. I mean, all Louis, that's big five, really. Louis C.K. And I kind of had a weird journey with stand up. Where this but just again, we're watching the bit. This is the bit with it's like they're making fun of they're counting. They'll like take a trope from a comedy from a movie and just make fun of it, basically. So the humor's coming from that.
We should probably both be counting. Oh, well, let's just get to it.
All
right.
And Peele. I felt, I don't know, stand up. I tried to write stand up bits. They got very negative. I loved a lot of negative comedians, but I don't know. There's some. I don't know. There's something cooler to me about sketch. It's less depressing, and I think a lot of my sense of humor is sketch-like in nature, anyway. A lot of my favorite comedy bits could make great sketches. And Louis' show, you kind of saw that translation between stand-up comedy and movies. Same with Woody Allen, really. And yeah, these guys get a lot of mileage making fun of movies. I'm sorry. So, and yeah, there's not a lot of great, The Hangover was the last great one. Adam McKay stuff. Well, I really, I wanted to make a movie that does what these guys do for an hour, the full 2 hour run. They did Keanu, which counts, but it'd be cool to go full on. So that's all the comedy talk, I guess. All the background stuff out of the way. Now we're getting full, Yeah, they're just making fun of the crime movie. He's counting, Keegan's counting all the money. He got screwed. Yeah, it'd be so cool to do a movie as absurd as this. There's a reason not to, which I'll get into later. See, yeah, comedy has its own structure. I love this bit. I
actually pressed it already.
So like they'll take like a little. So this one that they took, like it's just a social thing you do, and just ran with it for three minutes. Improv people do this a lot.
Already, right? Already done. You don't think I didn't press it? No.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to crack it. Maybe I'll crack it soon. But again, something like this, but I don't know. I've been trying to write sketches, and I just wonder if this sort of humor just works best in 3-minute bursts more than 2 hours.
So I'm just press it. What for? Why would you do something that's already done? I mean, I just think that's crazy.
Right? And yeah, I don't. Something I worry about too with comedy is you start to notice
try to kill Bin Laden again.
The things, Oh, here's a fucking ad. You start to kind of notice the things they like the shtick. So Keegan's gonna yell a lot.
Killed the Bin Laden of pressing this button.
I actually don't know how these guys wrote these bits. I think it was a writer's room. I feel like I read that somewhere.
I just pressed it right as you walked up. Are you sure you pressed it? Am I sure I pressed it? It's how could I miss it? Rats know how to press buttons. Do you think I'm dumber than a rat? No.
It's funny too. Comedy is also it's probably the easiest scene to get into.
It's because I pressed
it's open mics. You just go and do an open mic. Like screenwriters don't have that shit. Short films don't. Well, even films don't have that. It's a lot easier to go and do a 5-minute set an open mic and then just to make a fucking movie. A short, even like a 5-minute movie, 3-minute movie.
You didn't press it. I'm just saying maybe it didn't work. If it didn't work for me, why in the world would it work for you?
So yeah, it's like there's a lot of bits where Keegan will just flip out.
You think the light doesn't like me or something?
I don't know what that is. It's just and it feels good. There's some about it where it's like you're taking pain and you're making it fun. Colbert actually spoke about that with with his Christian faith, which is like you're taking suffering and making it happy. In a way. I don't think Keegan and Jordan have that on mind. Maybe they do, maybe a little bit. But that just gets at the heart of what comedy does, I think, which is what I love it. I think I'm drawn to it, which is a shame because I'd love to make, science fiction and drama, but it feels like the funny just draws me in. This is making fun of infamous the cult mass suicide of 1997. And these are the two guys who didn't make it, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, were you two members of the cult that
Yeah, no, we were.
Was this a cult? I had no idea this was a cult. Way! Although I will say the term cult is a little judgmental. I would say the same thing. Yeah, not knowing the full doctrine.
It's so funny too. Jordan Peele has made a full turn from comedy to horror, which is what
that still is really possible.
he's pointing out some great similarities between the two forms, but they are pretty distinct in a way. He doesn't even act anymore. He's not like Orson Welles who is acting in his own movies.
On our departure day, their departure day, which is the day-to-day.
I guess it's kind of like it's a Hitchcock.
I mean, that's what you could call it if you wanted to. But I ain't in no cult.
Kubrick is behind the camera only.
I've
never seen him do a dramatic role either. I think in Fargo it was a little dramatic. They were cast together, so I don't know.
Why just beam him up? Why can't you just beam him up alive? Why you gotta be dead to get beamed up? You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that for weeks, seconds.
They've talked too. I mean, I don't really even notice it, but a lot of their bits are about race, which hasn't really influenced my own comedy. So that's one of the elements I probably don't take from them. I don't know. There's like a good vibe to them too, for whatever reason. I think that's what's cool about them. They're clearly having fun. They might have the most fun of a lot of the sketch comedy people I've watched. But other sketch shows? I guess about SNL. Okay. Yeah, and the twist is that they were right. Oh God.
Comic book adaptation to film, hands down.
And now we're doing the bit making fun of
I know I'm in the minority here, but I don't
making
really
fun
like
of the comic book nerds.
I don't. I really just feel like they're overrated.
Okay.
Well, that's just an opinion. You see, that's why I.
And now they're making fun of the guy. Yeah. Oh.
You know what? No.
This is a bigger thing when this is filmed. Like, oh my, awkward.
You said awkward. Now it's awkward because of what you said.
It's funny to consider like what the rules that if they switch, would this work still?
Really? Because when you say anyway,
I've also wondered too.
Contribution to the conversation.
Like of all the there's quite a few sketches that could make for a full movie.
There's no yikes.
But
the reason why there's no yikes
it'd be interesting. It's like even like, okay, what would this look like as a full movie? Maybe it wouldn't work at all because again, the bit dies after 3 minutes. I don't know.
Don't look at either of those guys. Look at me. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what my drive is to. Am I like trying to legitimize sketch comedy turning into a full movie? I don't know.
Don't look at them.
But here we go.
Look at them. No, do not look at them. Do not look at them. Don't
tell us how you really feel.
You know what? I'll tell you how I really feel. Listen. I really feel like you're an asshole who has nothing interesting to say.
But it's making fun of. There's a whole community like this fucking guy. We just make it like a.
Tell me an opinion.
Their whole thing is all awkward.
Anything at all.
Like it is making fun of a certain class of people, which is good.
Share an opinion right now, just off the top of your head.
Kind of making fun of the internet, really, or a lot of it anyway.
That's all I'm asking. Share one opinion right now.
I've learned this from another friend, another close friend, about the way improv works. It's like it's called a game, and everything revolves around the game when you're improvising. So I guess the game was like the bit. So the bit here is he keeps saying awkward, 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 and Keegan's reacting to it. It's funny that YouTube's really good for sketch stuff too. It's a really yeah, that's the final twist. Yep. In terms of what YouTube does, well, really, in terms of what YouTube does, it's really good for sketch. But now you got TikTok, even Vine was a thing. You had comedy sketches in 6 seconds. In fact, Vine was like 8 years ago, but yeah, TikTok now is like the TikTok comedians.
Sorry, but you'll be all right, man.
And that's probably a more vital form than anything you see on fucking television or in movies. So, but I don't know. I don't want to do fucking TikTok comedian. And I don't know. I mean, there's an idea too. Like, what if it gets worse? What if like, how can you get more attention deficit ADHD than a TikTok bit? But
if you lunge at somebody,
you know,
and then you get a bump in your pay, and if you
I
really
don't
lucky,
know.
man, they blow your head
And then there's
off,
also, I
that's
was thinking
straight
about, I've
weight
been
right
thinking
there.
about this a lot. A lot of our current forms of entertainment,
Jerry, I had a
as
thought,
the
man,
world
about the first scene,
changes, like these forms will fade away, but the more eternal forms, like the novel and theater, even poetry, those will last, forever because they've been around forever. So they're not maybe relevant right now, but they'll return. Maybe that's its own conversation.
Say whatever. Okay, all right, cool, man.
This is dating to this is dating from the Walking Dead stuff.
Man. You can just use me. I've been here
The extras.
day one, first season. So, okay, cool. All right, that's fine. You're gonna go with him. All right, good for you, man. Good for you. No, don't do it. You don't have to say grind. Do whatever the hell you want to do, man. That's the lunge bump. That is the lunge bump, man. You got it. You got it. On your first day, ever being an extra, ever. You got it, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Action.
A lot of stuff. Again, another movie sketch. I'll count. I should count how many movie sketches they have in this little compilation.
What the hell was that? Cut. Oh man, I would be more than happy to fill in, man. I'd be more than happy to step in.
Mac, just remember when you're coming through the factory that, like, your mind is still on the cards.
I mean, you all gotta pick people based on qualifications, man.
Okay.
You can't just be picking random.
It's a good note.
Yeah, the game is they're
Maybe what I was
ignoring
doing
Keegan.
Sort of superseded that.
So there'll be a game, and then there's like these twists
Absolutely.
that
Yeah,
you
but,
find in the
let's do
3-minute
one that
bit.
just
Well, I don't know.
seems like
I wrote a
same level.
sketch
We're going again straight away, okay? Right away.
recently. I guess I gotta keep writing more. I don't write them as much because they're so easy to do. So I don't really feel drawn to keep doing it. I've been trying to do short stories lately. So let's see how that goes. Because I guess I don't know how to do it, so it makes it interesting to learn, Anyway.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to step in. At any time you want me to.
Yeah, there's like the stuff I've been writing, the sketches.
So we're looking
There won't be as many,
constant, and you got survivors to find, right?
Well,
Can't
the
tell y'all
twist
something for a
is
second,
I
because
gotta,
this dude right here is not doing what a zombie does.
Sometimes
This dude
it's
is
cool if you
literally
just
on
have a
our last
good
take, waving his hand up in
character
the air
who's
like he's trying to
funny.
make a
You don't
beaker
need as
sound.
many
Sound like
twists, I
Beaker
think. Maybe.
From the Muppets, y'all.
Thank you. That's great. Just a ticking clock on this is all we're looking for.
This
Because
doesn't
better
have any
survivors
twists
what
though.
we're
This
after.
is I like this kind of sketch a
The
little bit more.
ambivalence is art. It's gorgeous and we love it. But there are zombies, so if we could just pick up the pace just a hair, that'd be great. Straight away, please. Right away.
Jerry, we're not doing Night of the Living Muppets, are we? We're not. Because the Beaker is not a zombie.
You have any notes?
Yeah, don't be f***ing Beaker.
Quiet, please.
Action.
Here we go. He's gonna do it again.
Cut.
No! He actually just said the word zombie! Come on, man. You ever hear a zombie say the word zombie?
It's escalate. I think a lot of sketches escalation too.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, but you terrible.
And yeah, just a lot of these settings I think are really fun. Like this is a fun setting.
No, you want me to leave? Hey, man,
Making the extras on a stupid zombie show. That's funny.
Left and right. When do I get the start of the lead, huh?
One more for safety.
This could probably make a funny movie
Action.
in a way. Like looking at this little world. I guess that's what you're looking for. Like
Hey, what do we do if we have to go to the bathroom? We like it. I love it. Moving on.
So right, the twist is Keegan was the problem. This is an awesome bed. This would make for a great movie. But that would too. So it's funny to see which sketches work for a movie and which wouldn't. So, but again, does it need to be a movie? I don't know. They tried to turn Mr. Garvey into a movie. I don't. No news on whatever happened with that. So.
His armor is impervious to our blasters. Got any ideas, Red Falcon?
Sure do, Yellow Falcon.
This is like an erase bit
Remember our
too.
battle at Dango Bluff?
That's pretty funny.
I'll take the legs,
This
you
woman
take
was
the
in
blood.
Terminator
It was
3.
Beaver Creek, and I took the legs. Make sure you shore up that
Yeah.
flank, Black Falcon.
Black Falcon.
Are you talking to me? Because
And funny too, they have the music playing and everyone else,
no time
but
for that, Black Falcon. Purple Falcon.
Green Falcon.
Roger that. Arming missile now.
I think that woman was in
We're going in.
Jack and Cody
Hey,
too.
hold up.
Copy that.
My Falcon is green.
Hey, we can talk about our Falcon colors when we get back to base, Black Falcon. Right now, we got a mission to fall into Falcon formation.
This is one of my favorites.
But no, here's the issue: is that you're gonna give me an order. I'm not gonna know you're talking to me. I'm not in the Black Falcon.
Come on, chill it out, Black Falcon.
Yeah, Black Falcon. Black.
First of all, I don't like the way you guys are saying black.
This is one of the really
Second
good
of all,
ones.
there is no Black Falcon. I'm Green Falcon.
Like it's like when they hit, there's no one
trying to
like
get up
them.
in your grill here.
Don't talk to me like that. No, don't say grill like that. I'm the Green Falcon, and
Oh, stop being so Black Falcon about it.
What the f*** do you mean by that?
I gotta you just keep pushing it,
I
and then
understand.
they got the
Do you? No, I
like
don't
kill
think
your
you do.
king.
How would you feel if I called you Red Falcon? Huh?
Whoa.
Falcon. How would you feel if I called you Yellow Falcon? Huh?
That's racist.
That was racist.
Yeah, that's racist.
That is racist.
That's racist. Oh, see? Okay, no, forget it. Black Falcon out. Green Falcon. Green Falcon.
Hey,
And the monster
Green
isn't
Falcon,
funny
roll
at
out of Falcon
all.
formation. Black Falcon, get on that. Report back. Black Falcon. Black Falcon, come in.
What is
Big
this
man,
13?
big
Oh,
man.
Big
Excuse me,
Man.
big man,
No,
no,
Alexis.
but big man.
Fiddle.
Okay, God bless you. I'll catch you on the upflip.
Thank you, big man.
Making fun of
Thank
the
you, big
con
man.
men. See, like, yeah, it's I guess because it's like some of these characters are so fun. You kind of do want to see them. Like, all right, how can we how much can we keep this going? Can we get this going for 2 hours? You know?
Because you know what? My car had also broke down right up the road. Yeah, I got my daughter here. She's 5. She's sleeping in the car. I gotta get back to her real quick. So if you could help me out,
Yeah, they're trying to bullshit each other. That's the
Let
bit.
me just give you my wallet out here and show you my.
You know, it's they're showing all the fake ways. You know. Yeah, of all the things, like, if I have to, all right, what's the most fun? Like, 'cause I do this with my friends too, and I'm hanging out even. And it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what psychological reason why it's so fun.
Okay, I too have multiple
But it
ideas,
is, you
crescendoing
know.
in this, yogurt lamb punch card. Okay, yeah, I see that right there. That is, I'm up my 9th purchase apparently, and you can't fake that.
Yogurt for that. Yeah. All right. So normally I would not ask another person for assistance, but our family is in a fiduciary crisis right
Fiduciary.
now. My wife is languishing in the hospital. She a construction worker, and what happened is she got struck in the face by a power line, fried her whole head up, burnt both her eyeballs out. She's getting eyeball replacement surgery as we speak.
I also have a spousal injury crisis on my midst as well. My wife
Another
was in the
ad.
astronaut program, making her.
I wonder. Well, that's a funny thing with Jordan Peele. I wonder where his next, like, what is next? Where does he go from here? You know, he has 3 horror movies now. You know, I wonder if I wonder if he'll return to comedy. That's what I'm thinking. He's in a new Wendell and Wild or something it's called, with the director who did Nightmare and whatever. Nightmare Before Christmas. And the same directors, I think, Coraline too. Stop motion.
I'll cut you a check for 100 just to cover that. You give me the change in cash. Okay, I feel that. Why am I playing? I'm just gonna give you my ATM card so you know I'm legit. Of course, I'm gonna give you my ATM card.
Yeah, too. It's a great bit. It's a great premise. I have in the corner too in Practical Jokers. That's another. They're really good.
1, 2, 3, 5.
See, yeah, watching this shit makes you want to like, should I try stand up for the fuck of it? I don't. I don't know. At my best, I don't even think in stand up terms. You know.
Okay, that is a credit card placeholder.
And I guess if I'm thinking about the form, all right, you go on stage and you speak, you say stuff.
That's cool. You get to be a truth sayer, if you will, at your best. But to me, it's funner to just become someone else. That's funny. I don't know. It's cooler. You have to go way farther to get to be way more of a cartoon, I think, too. This is an amazing bit. I found this later than usual. A lot of their bits, they took a while to put on YouTube for reasons that I guess we'll say later. Yeah, this is the guard who just lets the guy out when he asks.
You tricked me.
It tricked me. It tricked me. They had a problem, these guys. They would watch.
All I said was, you gotta let me out.
They like people would only watch the YouTube stuff. They wouldn't tune into the show, so they had to hold back bits to get people to actually watch the show.
Okay.
As I do, I'm recording this in bursts, so this will be the last bit.
Orders to let him go.
This is one of my favorite characters they've ever done. This idiot. It's fucking idiot. You hear Keegan in the background too, screaming something every time.
You really got me in trouble.
Sorry.
Yeah, you must think I'm stupid. Well, I'm not stupid. I'm smart. So.
It's funny too. Keegan didn't go into directing like Jordan does. Not that he has to, but he seems a lot more content just being an actor and
you can trick me into letting you out again.
So he's been in a few like sitcoms. I think he was in Predator, one of the Predator movies. But yeah, he seems to spend the most time in comedy drama television shows. But here's a cool. I mean, it's very meta, but there's a fun show. I mean, it looks pretty fun. Called Reboot. It's a reboot of a sitcom. It's about the drama of a sitcom undergoing a reboot. That looks pretty fun, interesting. I used to want to write those a lot more. Those like meta, those shows about shows and movies about shows and movies, or
I'm actually surprised.
Movies about the entertainment business. Which is funny because Fellini does this too, but he
You're a bad guy, and I'm a good guy.
Oh, he has a different perspective on those than I did. Those types of stories.
Like, you're a good guy? Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, if you think, because 8.5, La Dolce Vita,
Seem like you understand what
and La Strada are all about entertainers, basically.
Oh, okay. I see what
We're centered around
you're
entertainment
trying to
business.
manipulate me with reverse psychology, but it's not going to work.
It's not even worth going out there again. Look, they're just gonna get me and bring me back in here, just like they always do.
Just funny that he's such an idiot. Yeah, I think I'm Impractical Jokers is in the corner. They do some of the. I think one of those guys does stand up. But yeah.
I'm not gonna fall for it. Whatever it is, you may as well just tell me.
Stupid glasses too. A lot of fun touches these guys have.
Get past the guard.
Yeah.
All the way out.
Okay.
I really, I have to tell you. You need to think about this long and hard. Weigh your options and consider the ramifications of those options.
Like heck, I will.
I'm busting you out of here! Don't yell, man. You might as well bring me your arm.
Yeah. I did it again. Guard. I was a prison guard. I wasn't allowed to talk to the prisoners. That was the thing. They said, if you talk to those prisoners, you're going to get in trouble.
It's amazing. His punishment, he has to live with this fucking guy.
What are we doing in this neighborhood?
Come on, this place is in our
All right,
price
one
range.
more, and then.
Besides, I mean, people say the neighborhood's turning around. It's Jordan and Kira. We're here to view the apartment at 3.
I guess the guy with the weirdo at the apartment.
house in here yesterday. Almost had to beat his ass. But y'all ain't got nothing to worry about, because anybody try to get up in here, I will murder them. Let me give y'all the tour. All right, so we got these vintage windows. They've been here as long as the building.
It's where I went this long without talking about Straight Man, Funny Man bit. So it's called Straight Man. I don't know what the other one is called. But. It sucks too, because again, I kind of, for me to film sketches, I'd have to write them to what I could film, and all these sketches, you need buddy to film. So.
I filed a serial number off there, so if you got to shoot anybody, just make sure to wipe your fingerprints off this smoke. Come on, y'all, I ain't gonna bite you. Brand new covers.
Yeah, I think the bit is the crackhead actually is real.
Get down! Ain't no thing. I thought Craig was rolling back. I ain't getting shot by this mo twice, damn. While we down here, check this out. Original hardwood floor from when the building was built. Check out this green, brother. Ooh, that is craftsmanship. Anyway, come on.
He's got the pimp cane.
Is all new.
Again, there's a lot of detail in these characters.
Okay, this happened after I had painted. Funny story. We got crackheads in this neighborhood, and one of them living right next door here, right? And one day he was smoking crack, just went lunatic.
I think we
It's
should
an ad.
explore.
All right.
Took his 9mm, that's a pistol, honey, for the remote control. But don't worry, you ain't never
Contempt
see
on
him
her
again.
face for the pistol comment.
Ain't nobody ever
He's got the gold tooth.
see him again. Plus, I'm gonna put a fancy little hook in there and turn it into a hat rack. Now let's take a look at his bedroom. What the? I ain't found this place first. Found it, man. Oh, that's tight. Can y'all give me a second?
Oh, I guess there's another bit.
I'm gonna cut you with my sword cane.
There's another bit with a real crackhead. This might be it, actually.
So that's gonna be first month and last month rent, 1 month security deposit. I'll get the paperwork started. Okay, baby, let's hit this rock real quick.
The crackhead.
Father, please hear our prayer for the poor.
Thank you, Father. Yes.
We beseech.
And that is it for this episode of The Writer's Room. Tune in next time for more movie commentaries. I don't know what I'm doing next. It could be, I don't know. I just did episodes for Interstellar and Avengers Endgame, which I'll talk about later, or why I did that. But I'm looking at maybe doing some more quote unquote either acclaimed or older work. So like, okay, like Citizen Kane. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. In the Mood for Love, which is usually see it at the top of the list of greatest movies of this century. That's usually number one. So it's like, oh, that'd be cool to do at least 25 minutes on. So those, I think, I do know the blockbuster episode is probably there, so that's for sure. Well, that's it. So have a good day or evening wherever you are, and thanks for listening. Bye-bye.